In this video, we'll be looking at calculations, in particular, how to calculate the percentage by mass. Now here's a few things to remember. Starting off, we need to work out how many of each element there is within a particular chemical. We need to then calculate the MR. This we can use the periodic table for. And then we should remember we can always use a calculator. And this goes for all of your science tests at GCSE. Right, let's have a look at an example. And this is a bit of a recap. We'll just have a look at how to work out the MR really quick. Now here's carbon dioxide. We have 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. And then to work out the MR, we just multiply the number of each element by its mass number. In this case, we've got 44. And then here's one more example. Water. We have 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. And again, we multiply by the individual mass numbers to give us an MR of 18. Now this is as complicated as it gets. Aluminium nitrate. And again, we need to know what each of these little numbers mean and how to use them. So for this particular example, we have 1 aluminium, 3 nitrogens and 9 oxygens. And again, we multiply by the individual mass numbers to get an MR of 213. Now, I recommend looking at our previous video on how to calculate MR if you're still struggling. But here's a few examples for you to try. I'll give you 3 minutes to give these a go. And as always, if you finish early, just skip ahead. Otherwise, pause the video if you need more time. Here are the answers to those questions. Okay, now to calculate the percentage by mass, we need the following formula. Percentage by mass equals the total AR divided by the MR times 100. Now, it's a relatively straightforward formula. The only thing you need to be aware of is the AR, or the total AR, is the total mass of a particular element that the question asks for. And we'll have a look at some examples. So here's the first example. Work out the percentage by mass of carbon in carbon dioxide. Well, carbon dioxide is CO2. And the first thing we need to do is work out the MR. And we've had a practice on this previously. So the MR of CO2 is 44. Now the next step is just to input our numbers into that formula. So the percentage by mass of carbon equals 12, which is the total mass of all carbons in CO2, divided by the MR, 44, times 100. So in this case, we have 27. Now our next example, work out the percentage by mass of nitrogen in aluminium nitrate. So here's aluminium nitrate, and we've already worked out the MR of this previously, so it's 213. Our next step, again, is just to input our numbers into that formula. So in this case, the percentage by mass of nitrogen is going to equal 3 times 14, because we have 3 nitrogens, each with an AR of 14, divided by the total MR, 213, times 100. This will give us 19.7%. And this is as complicated as it gets. Here's a few examples for you to try yourself. Take the next 5 minutes to give these a go. Here are the answers to those questions. Okay, so let's summarize. We need to work out the number of each element within one molecule. We then work out the MR of the entire molecule, and then work out the total AR of the required element. And this is all of the ARs of that particular element. And lastly, we need to remember this formula. It's not always given to you in an exam. Right, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you.